Lower down till you're flat on your back. Bend your knees and extend arms out to your side in a T position. Slowly tick-tock your knees or windshield wiper your knees, side to side, letting your hips rotate. Releasing your lower back while keeping your upper back flat to the mat. Take your time on any side that feels like it needs a little bit more of a stretch. Starting from a side lying position, make sure that your knees are towards the edge of the mat and your feet are tucked behind you in line with your tailbone. Shoulders are stacked, arms are stacked, and then slowly rotate your top arm open behind you, twisting your upper middle back, breathing with the movement. You can always place a hand on your knee to keep your legs in place and help your opposite shoulder release and open a little bit deeper. Breathe and hold. Time and gravity are your body's best friends. Making sure you spend equal time on both sides of the body. Take your time to open up and shift and reach. Remember, the goal is that that opposite shoulder that is not already on the mat comes down to the mat. We're not here to force anything, so breathe with the movement and just remember that that's the goal. It doesn't have to happen. Trying to create space around the joints is what we're looking to achieve with this stretch. Once you feel a nice good stretch and like you've loosened up a little, we're going to transition into prone or lying face down, still working into the hips, shoulders, and chest, but bringing the hand in to twist over, stacking the hips, maybe looking up towards the sky or ceiling, and then taking your time to switch and transition to the other side. Notice that your arms stay out in that T position, so you're trying to pin that shoulder down while you stack the opposite shoulder on top, creating some more space. If you feel good here, you can always bring that top foot behind you to help open up through the hips as well, just adding another layer. But if you have plenty stretch with hips stacked, no need to add that leg opener at the top. Do this a few times side to side, again taking your time and breathing deeply. Next, we're going to move into our cat-cow. Hands line up underneath the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. Breathe as on your inhale, look up, let your belly drop towards the floor. On your exhale is when we round through the spine, pulling the hips in towards the chin in towards the chest. Full big breaths. Take your time, work into that spine. Next, we're working on just a shoulder contraction and extension. So from that all fours position, with core muscles engaged, arms relatively straight, let your shoulder blades tuck in towards your spine and then push the floor away to find that space between the shoulder blades. And then moving on to stretch into the wrists and forearms, rotate your fingertips in towards your knees. Maybe lean back, increase the stretch, rock forward. Now transitioning down into a puppy dog pose, so kind of like a child's pose, except your forearms only come to the mat. Keep your hips high in the air. See if you can let your forehead come all the way down to the mat. Notice how this feels with your palms flat to the mat and your forearms down in your lats, with those muscles right underneath the armpits. Stretch back as far as you can. Again, breathe into this. Feel free to shift, move forward and back, or just find a static hold. Now it's time for our downward facing dog, pedaling out the legs, stretching into the calves, ankles, and feet, and then pulling forward to step wide dropping the back knee, spinning that inside arm open, and then reaching back and forward through the hips. So this is referred to as our world's greatest stretch. We're opening up through the hips, getting some movement in that thoracic spine as we reach back and open. Keep in mind that this video right now is sped up, so I want you to take this a little bit more slowly. Listen to your body and move through each of these positions at your own pace, getting some movement into the hips, upper back, and spine. Last thing we have to do is walk the hands back to the toes, keeping the tailbone lifted. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head is last thing to come up.